Yes, it is.
And we are
John is
live.
amazing.
We are here with the Insane Asylum, and we are here with Christopher Kai House. I like that name, by the way.
That's
Same,
mine.
same last name as one of my favorite doctors.
Never heard that before.
Calling Dr. House. You never watched House? That was a
No,
good
I
show.
did. Yeah, I did.
That was a good show. Hugh Laurie was fantastic
Yep.
in that. So, and you've got quite the resume. You are
I do. I do a few things here and there.
co-founder and
Just a couple.
co-director of the Milwaukee Paranormal Film Festival.
Hmm.
And you are the same for the Milwaukee Twisted Dreams Film Festival, and that's coming up soon too, right?
Yep.
But you're not doing the paranormal this year, or are you?
Not this year. No, we do that in conjunction with the Milwaukee Paranormal Conference with T. Krulos. And
Paracon.
since there's no conference this year, so
They're doing that.
and nobody's doing anything in person this year. So I'm
Yeah.
hoping that
Yeah.
we're going to revisit
The
it next year.
conference is all online this year.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yep.
And you are also, correct me if I'm wrong, a paranormal investigator, right?
Hmm. Yeah, I've been doing that for about 20 years.
But you stopped for a while.
Off and on, yeah.
So, where have you done this at?
All over the country.
Really?
Hmm.
What was one of your favorites?
I like old jails. We've been to like Licking County Jail over in Indiana, Crown Point, Indiana. Old Lake County Jail in Ohio. I like old jails and old hospitals.
You ever go to Alcatraz?
Never been to Alcatraz, no.
Had the opportunity and never took it.
One day I'd like to.
Been there.
Actually, I don't know if they're even doing that anymore at Alcatraz, letting anybody tour it because they actually were saying that the island was sinking. And I don't know if they shut it down to tourists or not. But it would be a cool thing to take a bunch of equipment and go out there and check it all out. Joe, are
Yeah,
you
I'm trying to share this here.
okay?
Sorry.
No, he does that every once in a while. He'll space out because he's trying to work on something. So, what got you into the paranormal?
Just I like the unknown. I want answers. I want to know. The unknown just really fascinates me. I became a Freemason because I want to know what Freemasonry is.
Interesting. I had a cousin that was a Freemason.
Yeah, it was probably the best decision I made since I've been an adult.
Cool. I don't think I never really had a hankering to get into the Masons. He said it was pretty cool too. He actually took me to one of the meetings. He got the permission to bring me in as a guest.
Mhm.
It was really interesting to see the Mason temples and stuff. They were really, I guess I could say they were really pretty decked out inside. At least the one I seen was.
Yeah. Some of them are just really plain, and some of them are the fanciest buildings you could ever see.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that one of our, or actually several of our founding fathers were Freemasons.
Mhm.
Yeah, George Washington. I think John Adams was also one.
Mhm.
Hamilton, I think, might have been. I don't exactly remember
Mhm.
every one of them.
Yeah, a lot of those guys back then were Masons. Masonry was much bigger back then. Now it's not really in vogue, so there's not
Right.
as many Masons as there was. But
So over the amount of time that you've been doing this, what would be the most intriguing thing that you've captured on tape, on film, either that or audio, or even have seen yourself?
yeah, I wish I could say that I catch all this evidence that you see on TV, but you guys know when you're investigating, getting real evidence is rare.
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
it's
So
very,
It's very rare.
it's not like on TV at all.
no, 99% of paranormal investigating is sitting in the dark talking to yourself. That's what it is. Let's be
Yeah,
real.
pretty much.
But yeah, we I've seen some stuff here in Milwaukee at the Milwaukee Theater. We did an investigation, and we were in the ladies' bathroom there, and they have rows of stalls for the toilets,
Right.
and one of the doors kept closing on its own. We couldn't figure it out. We tried everything to debunk why it was closing, if there was an airflow, if there was somebody standing next to it. But yeah, we caught that on video, just the door closing all by itself. That was
Hmm.
that was an interesting one.
And these are like the modern type stall doors, or
Yep, yep.
so if it would have been like off balance a little bit, the others probably would have been as well.
You would think so, yeah, because it was like a row of 10 doors, and they were
Right.
all open except this one just closed. One right in the middle just closed.
Always, yeah.
Yep.
That's pretty intriguing.
Hmm.
Have you gotten any like voice phenomena?
Yeah, I would say we have. Nothing that I would conclusively say is paranormal, but we've caught noises and things that we can't
Right.
explain. Usually I'm a debunk first kind of guy. I want to know if it's, a natural sound, if it was an animal, if it was the building making noise. But yeah,
Right.
sometimes we catch things that we just can't explain.
Well, I was just kind of wondering because I do the same thing when we're out doing our investigations. If I feel that maybe I've caught something, I will um, I'll actually try and debunk it completely
Hmm.
rather than um, rather than say, hey, yeah, I've got this now. And
Right.
so it's like whenever we went to
Our first our first video was pretty much a debunk. We debunked somebody else's video. I mean, I knew.
Yeah, people get angry when you do that. People get
Yeah,
really
well,
angry.
we saw something on YouTube, and because we were going out there, and we kind of wanted. This was last March when we decided to change our format to paranormal. We went out to Sanatorium Hill in Madison. That was our first location we ever went to. So we did a little YouTube investigating, kind of seeing what was out there on Sanatorium Hill.
Hmm.
I grew up in Madison. I knew all about Sanatorium Hill. I've had the privilege of actually being inside the place too. Okay, way back in the 70s and the 80s. But anyway, we were there, and the video we saw was some guy said that he saw a ghost walking across the lawn from one direction to the other, parallel to Northport Drive, basically. But he was walking in an angle. Right away, we pretty much made that same video, almost identical video.
Hmm.
Given the time of night, the neighborhood, the time of night, any given time of night, there's only one 24-hour store open. And if I lived up behind there, I'd cut across the lawn too, or cut across the parking lot as well.
Hmm.
Yeah, and that's exactly what that was.
Nice.
yeah.
You
And then
know,
our second video, we went out to the cemetery
I've been on
on
investigations with everyone on the panel.
Tom has, yeah.
good old
We did
Tom.
an investigation at his studio in the basement.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
we
we
did
did. We
that
did his
house.
house.
Yeah,
So
Tom
We
still. I've heard stories about his house.
Yeah,
it's this
there
place.
are some interesting things there. But
Well, I gotta go there.
our second time after Sanatorium Hill, we went out to what is that cemetery out there on Speedway?
Forest Hill.
Yeah, Forest Hill Cemetery. And that particular day, I thought I had possibly caught something on camera, but the camera's shaking like crazy because I'm fighting freaking mosquitoes off.
Oh yeah.
Because during the summertime, I wear shorts. I don't give a shit. It could be, even if into the fall, it can be 50 degrees out. I'm in
He
shorts.
was wearing shorts today
You're that guy. Okay.
wearing shorts today when he stopped by.
Yeah, I'm
That's it.
that guy,
That's
and I'm
pretty
actually from California, and I'm wearing shorts and crap weather like this.
only like
So
50, 60 degrees here today at the
so
most.
anyway, I was I was fighting off mosquitoes at that point. So um, when we viewed it, we actually went back out there the following day and was out there around the same times, you know, same time that the video was shot originally. Same area, and this time I had it on a tripod, and I made sure I was in the same area, and I tried to pretty much debunk everything. And I think I may have. I think it was what it was a actual play on shadows with the setting of
Yeah.
the sun. That's kind of how I would describe it. It's about the only way I could describe it. So
Hmm.
I think I think probably the most interesting experience we did have was at Tom's house.
Oh yeah.
yeah, that was pretty interesting.
Did
Yeah.
you guys catch it on video or audio?
We have video. We have uh, actually the photograph was pretty interesting.
Yeah,
Um,
his wife just before we started anything,
let's see if I can find.
uh, Joe's wife Tanya took her cell phone out by the shed and snapped a couple of back-to-back pictures with it. And the first picture didn't show much. Second picture actually showed a haze that looked like smoke coming from out of the shed
I'm gonna see if I can
and
get it
trailing
on the
across.
folder.
I
Hmm.
think he might have
Interesting.
it.
Yeah, I found the Tom and Molly folder. So
Yeah.
The
well,
Tom and Molly folder.
yeah,
I have
we
one of
both
those
have
folders too.
those.
I don't know if we
so
have the same folders.
probably not.
okay, this was taken from my wife's cell phone. I got it set up so that there's picture 1 and 2. All right, you see, this is the shed in the backyard. Whoops, there's a shed in the backyard. Okay, now if I take it back down,
Yeah, because for some reason it won't let you
yeah,
switch between pictures.
but now you can also clearly see it. You can see the smoke there.
Yeah, it's a haze there.
Can you zoom in on that?
Oh yeah,
Zoom in on it.
I'm working on it.
Actually, that's now you're a little too close, I think. But anyway, about
S- So what does Tom do in that shed?
Nothing. He's never been. He was all right. He was never. They just. I don't think Tom. You didn't. You didn't. When you we were out there, you guys didn't own the house more than what, a couple of months. No, she just shot 2 pictures in a row, real quick.
no, yeah, she only shot two in a row, Tom. I'm the one that did the multi shot, and I didn't catch anything. So,
Yeah, he didn't go near that shed until that day we were out there.
but as you can see, it comes. It looks like it's coming from the door, and it goes across the tree off to the
What kind
right
of camera did
there.
she shoot that on?
It was
She
on the
that was
cell
a cell phone,
Okay.
and
phone.
I
We
went out there with my cell phone and
nobody
shot pictures in the
nobody
same
was
area, and I didn't catch anything like that.
nobody was burning any leaves. Nobody was smoking out there. We asked her if she was smoking. She wasn't
Yep, because
smoking.
she smokes, Joe smokes. I quit back in October,
Nobody
so
was grilling back there because I went behind and looked over the fence. Nothing was grilling. No leaves were burning or nothing. So
Let's set up a day where we can go and investigate. I'll bring my gear and you can bring your gear.
yeah, and now we noticed. Here's the cool thing about this because we also noticed, and I just realized it now too. You look at the door; it looks like there was a fire there. But when you get in, and I think the other pictures are here. That's inside that shed. Okay, there's stuff written all over in there. And
What does
Tom,
that say? Free.
looks like it
Oof.
says free hood and then the bottom part says trick or hoop or something. I don't know if that's a D or a P.
Yeah.
But now this is a window. You can't really tell from the picture, even if you zoom in on it. It really ain't going to give you. But if you're there in person and you look at this window, which is at the back of the shed, it's obvious fire damage. Okay, that window was that's smoke. That's smoke damage.
Hmm.
You know, and some of the wood is charred around it.
So at one point there was a
There
fire
was
in the shed.
and then there's writing up there, and then it was like spray painted over or something because it's under there. You can see some of it. It can't. It's not legible.
Hmm.
But I'm thinking maybe with a black light it might be. That's with the infrared on or the IR on.
Hmm.
So it's night vision.
You can see it better with the IR. Still hard to make out though.
But we had no idea this was in the shed. I mean, until he told us. But then the one video, the attic video, that one we still to this day haven't been able to explain.
Yeah, that one was kind of strange. Um, I went up and did Tom ever tell you about his house?
Hmm. Yeah, I've heard
So
some
he
stories.
so he told you about the like hope chest thing that they found in the attic
Yes.
and it was filled with stuff.
Yep.
Well, myself and Molly went up there and I don't have a problem going through stuff if I need to. So I started pulling stuff out and her and I were looking at it and we found a name on it. But in the process after all that, we put everything back in the chest and then I put I laid a EMF meter on top of the chest. I couldn't get it to set up right or anything because the chest was it had a plush top kind of,
Hmm.
and it was kind of rounded, so it wouldn't set up either on its side or on its end. And I didn't have a prop to put on it, so I just laid it there. And then I set the camera up on the tripod and had it focused on there. And I was gonna have the camera plugged in.
There's an EMF meter.
I was gonna plug the camera in. That's my ass there anyway. Um, but see, I had the cord in my hand and everything. I was gonna plug the camera in, and Joe, uh, he he was on the ladder and he kind of bumped or pulled on the cable,
The cord.
the cord, and pulled the camera over. So I had to reset everything. Now I don't remember ever bumping that thing, but you seen I got down and it's moving, and we left the door. We left the door up, and the when you seen the light go off, that's when I pulled the cord on the light. I think I pulled the cord, but you can see whenever it went off, you seen the cord on the side here go off on the right side. You seen the cord kind of sway a little bit. Well, now it stopped, and this thing's still going. And there was an orb.
And that went off, and that thing kept moving for a good 30 minutes or more.
In the center there.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to watch this video again. I'm seeing stuff in that window.
And there was no breeze up
I
there.
just seen
We could
two
register.
reflections in the window. I know the window kind of faces the street, but
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that a window facing out?
yeah. And the thing is, if you notice,
But there
the
was that
the
night.
counterweight actually started swinging a little heavier. Instead of slowing down, it kind of sped up.
Hmm.
So,
And
and we
nobody's upstairs.
it stayed doing that like almost the entire time until the camera died on us.
For about 30 minutes. There's about 30 minutes of footage.
I think it was more like 40, closer to an hour.
Well, this is one of two pieces. This was before it was
Yeah.
edited together. So,
So yeah, we got that kind of stuff, and then And then when we were in the basement, we got hits on stuff down there. Um, I kind of did an aggressive questioning
Hmm.
because I felt that I'd cornered whatever it was. And then Joe took the voice recorder, and Tom seen him turn the damn thing on. He hit the record button on it, and he set it up on a shelf in the little alcove thing where I was pointing my camera, or where Tanya was pointing the camera, and I had the thermal camera, and we had the thermal at that time, didn't we, Joe?
No.
No. Then what was it I had in my hand? So anyway, I set that. He
Yeah.
set that up there.
I
Oh,
don't
I
think.
know what I had. I have a thermometer. It's got the laser.
Okay.
It's one of the handheld
Yeah.
thermometers. So Joe walks up there and he puts the voice recorder up on the shelf, and he's got EMF meters. So I'm doing this questioning thing. So he brings the EMF meter in and starts checking and stuff. On the side where the electrical is, he wasn't getting any hits. On the other side, where that's away from the electrical, he was actually getting hits on the EMF meter,
Oh, that's
which
unusual.
is kind of, yeah, it is. It's
Yeah.
very unusual. You'd think the closer you get to the electrical, you'd get the hits.
Right. Right.
No.
Hmm.
So in the video of him up there doing that, you could see look like orbs, a couple orbs coming through the pictures, and it actually looked like they passed through him.
Yeah, and then I paid the price for about 2 weeks.
And when we checked the voice recorder, it was turned off, but it
Hmm.
still had a full charge.
Hmm.
Hi, Sean and Ron.
Yeah,
So
that was an interesting trip. They seemed to pass through one of my legs, and it was the same leg that started bothering me for about 2 weeks. I have difficulty because I have chemo-induced neuropathy in my legs. So
Oh, yeah.
I knew I was going to pay the price walking up and down the stairs, from the basement upstairs to the attic.
Right.
And I knew I was going to pay that price. I was ready for that. But I usually take only a couple of days to recuperate, but it took me a lot longer. And I kept complaining about the one leg. And then when we went back and looked at the footage, it was the same leg that I was complaining about.
yeah,
That those orbs were going through. Yeah, I didn't pay any attention to it. I was like, well, but yeah, it was really weird. That was the worst we've had, but the most we've had in any place. Everything else, it's been, you know, just checking out the story and seeing if we could figure it out. Like the Beast of Bray Road was, I could figure
yeah. The
one
Beast of
out.
Bray Road's
I've
pretty
been there a few
interesting.
times. Been there a few times.
You've been
Have
down
you
Bray
been?
Road at night.
Hmm.
Have
Yep.
you been to Lee
Now,
Hample's place?
No.
all right. Now here's the thing about Bray Road, and correct me if I'm wrong. If you're driving down there at night and you're alone, and say you're a female, because I think that's what the first person was that witnessed
Hmm.
this so-called creature cryptid.
Yep.
Okay, um, it can be pretty scary.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's a very dark road. There's no street
Yeah.
lights, and any light from those houses really ain't going to do you any good because they're too far away from the road.
Well, a lot of it too is the houses. Those lights from those houses are
This also
obscured
being
by trees.
Wisconsin, this
Hmm.
also being Wisconsin, we got a couple of things that could easily be misidentified as a beast of prey road. We've got wolves,
Yep.
we've got coyotes all over the place. Mine can play tricks with you at dark, and you're driving down that road at night because
Hmm.
it's a long stretch, like almost 2 miles long, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, we've been to Lee Hample's farm, which is he's mentioned in Linda Godfrey's book, and he's also been on a couple of those TV shows that talk about
Monster Hunters, I think, or something like that.
Monster Quest.
Monster Quest. Okay.
Monster Quest. Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah, he's got 35 acres of land down there, and I think 32 of it is set up as harvest for hay.
Hey, it's a hay farm.
Yeah, and he's got 3 or 5 trail cams that he's got set up around the area
Five.
down there.
There's 5 trail camps set up on his property.
But yeah, I wasn't exactly sure how many. I thought it was the 5, but I wasn't sure. But but yeah, he's been there for 7 years. He's got the land had the land for 7 years,
Mhm.
and he's got tons of pictures.
It's getting cold in here.
And there's some interesting pictures.
Yeah, I bet. When I was there, I didn't see anything, but it's very dark. It's
But
very intense.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
Now that you go there, you know that there's this beast of prey road there, so you're looking for it. You're expecting some monster to jump out on you, and that just only makes it
intensifies
more
yeah,
the.
it
intense. Yeah,
intensifies it. And
and it does make your eyes play tricks on you. Like you will see something if
yes, it
your
does.
brain tells you you're going to see something.
Yeah, I mean, Wisconsin's an interesting place, and I
Oh
grew
yeah,
up here, and I had no idea how strange this state was. You know, I had no idea, but it's been fun.
yeah. We've got UFOs, we've got
Oh yeah,
Bigfoots, we've got everything.
I see them out here once in a while,
Yeah.
and he got what do they call a spotter scope? He got a spotter scope recently because a buddy of ours from Madison around and started
Sorry.
sending us pictures of UFOs and was going nuts. And we went out to try to meet him, and he was a no show. But so we went out. He went out. Mark went out and bought a spotter scope. The day after he bought that spotter scope, I'm standing outside on my back porch waiting for my puppy to come in. I have a 3-year-old purebred Siberian Husky, and she's got a mind of her own. Like she wants to go out. You're going to get up and let her out, especially if you're awake. So here I am at midnight, and I'm looking out at the sky, and the sky from my back porch overlooks like a cornfield and a little bitty lake type thing, but it's all pretty much open. I know where the radio tower is off to the one side and all of this, and I know what a plane looks like because I used to live over by Dane County Regional Airport. That was no plane what I saw, and it was just sitting there stationary in one spot, way up high, too high to be a house light or anything in the area because I know where those are too because I lived out here for 5 years,
Mhm.
and it's like, damn, where's marking that damn spotter scope so I can get a better picture look. So we went out and got a spotter scope because we're interested in all of it too.
Yeah, that's what Campbellsport is the UFO capital of the world.
Uh,
Campbellsport. That's supposed to be.
Yeah.
no, that yeah, and then there's one that's supposed to be the capital of Wisconsin, UFO capital of Wisconsin, but I don't think so. I went through there. We were out by the Devil's Punch Bowl, my wife and I
Hmm.
was, and just for like a day trip and just to get away from it all, we took a trip over to that side. We were over by La Crosse and all that area. And I can't remember the name of the town, but we went through this one town that was in one of Chad Lewis's books that was
Is it
claims to be the UFO.
Dundee, Wisconsin?
And yeah, I don't think it was that. It started with an E,
Okay. I know Dundee is another hot spot.
but they got put in there for having one of the first UFO landings and stuff. And I was expecting to see stuff like you would down by Area 51, but nope. Saw a couple of things that looked like they were made out of metal sitting out in front of a cheese shop. What a bust that was. I learned how I got a new phone too during that time, so I was learning how to broadcast live from my phone every 5 minutes.
It's like a kid with a new toy.
Nice.
I was having fun.
That's
Didn't
what
say
it's
you
all
weren't
about.
allowed. And that's
But
the whole thing
that
about
was
doing
first of
all
all,
this is
this
have
house
fun
is
with it.
enchanted,
Yeah.
and it's a pretty cool place.
We gotta do something about your mic though, Joe, because
Yeah,
every time you turn your head, you fade out, man.
Excuse me, Mark, if you're hard of
No,
hearing. It's old age.
I guarantee you, I'm not the only one that would say that to you.
Anyway, I went out to the Devil's Punch Bowl with my wife, and it was like a day trip. We were out there. It was a really nice trip. It was kind of a cool place. But what I saw when I was there actually pissed me off. People were writing graffiti on some of that
Oh.
area down in there.
Hmm.
You know, I mean, it's one of these cool, like hidden little gems. Whether it's enchanted or not, it's one of the coolest little hidden gems that you can find in Wisconsin because you got a waterfall there and all this other cool stuff, and it's all natural. Hasn't been touched by man until it gets famous. People decide to tag it there.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Their tags,
It
when
is.
pictures get taken for because of people like us. We go down there, investigate, take pictures. Their tags end up in the books and on the videos and all that
Hmm.
other. It makes me sick because they shouldn't do that. They should have
Yeah.
left it well enough alone. But actually, it is a really cool place. And I didn't see anything there either. But I could see how people could think that that place is enchanted.
Hmm. Yeah, I've never been there. Someday, hopefully.
Well, we were trying to find another spot too. I couldn't find out of Chad's books because I was trying to follow some of his books when I was looking around, and I couldn't find this place that Mary Dean, um, where there was like there was like a dock, a boat landing dock, and on the other side was an island, and they'd see the dog with the red eyes, the black dog with the red
Hmm.
eyes. Never did find that place though.
All right, so excuse me. Sorry about that. Happens every now and then. So what got you into doing the movie thing?
Oh, I've been into movies since I was a kid. Really, it's just yeah, I've been writing and just making home movies since I was a kid, and I thought, as an adult, it's what I want to do. So
Pretty cool.
yeah,
And then
I love
so you
movies.
and then you host the stuff about the festivals and stuff.
Yeah, we have the Milwaukee Twisted Dreams Film Festival coming up October
What
1st through the 4th.
what movies does that entail?
Anything horror or strange, twisted,
Our kind of
bizarre movies. Yeah,
our
Okay,
kind of movies.
cool.
you're not going to find romantic comedies,
No,
rom coms. You're not going to find
I only
heavy
watch
dramas.
my wife forces me to.
You're gonna find movies about yetis with penises that have relationships with other men, and they make babies. That's the
Okay,
kind of movie you're gonna
interesting.
see. Yeah,
So these are all like independent movies then.
yeah, they're all independent movies. We don't have any studio movies.
Okay.
We have the biggest studio that we have is Troma, Lloyd Kaufman. We've got some of his movies, and Lloyd will be a guest of the festival. We're gonna do a live Q&A with him.
Cool. Cool. I'll have to check some of that out.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good time.
So is it all just horror? You don't do sci-fi or anything like that?
No, we'll do sci-fi. We'll do anything that's strange.
All right. What is your favorite one then?
My favorite movie?
Yeah.
And my favorite
This
movie is Jaws. That's my go-to movie.
that's
Best
the
movie of all
first
time.
movie. That is the first movie I ever seen.
It was a good movie.
My cousin actually took me to it, and I was 8 years old.
Yeah,
It,
that's it.
that was the year it came out, and that was it was a little freaky. But to an 8-year old who can't swim, for one, that is a very
Still can't swim.
interesting. It's a very interesting movie. It's a
Hmm.
little scary for an
See,
8-year-old kid like
that
that.
It'd be a little intense.
he grows up in California and he never learned how to swim.
Well, it's because of Jaws.
No, it's because of my mother.
His mother saw Jaws.
My mom. Okay, I'm the youngest of seven, and my mom would not let any of my brothers or my sisters teach me how to swim
I saw that.
because she had such a fear that I was going to drown. So yeah, that unfortunately that's the way my life went.
That happens.
But yeah, one of my absolute favorite movies is Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Yeah, that's another good one.
That one was really good.
Yep.
But independent movies, I'm not. eh, I don't know. There's a few out there that are okay. It's just I know the Blair Witch Project. Whenever that one came out, that was shot on about $150,000 budget.
We're lucky.
They
Less than
shot it
that. Yeah,
less, okay, less
less
than
than
that,
that.
They
and
were
then they
lucky.
shot it on home video cameras like the ones
That
that
was
Hmm.
we
a
play with.
blockbuster video contest winner.
Yeah, yeah, and
They got
that
lucky.
one actually went to win awards, and it actually made quite a chunk of
All that
change
all
in
that
the
cheese
box
and the
office.
camera
That
and
yeah, that brought back a whole new genre of film, the found footage. That's what started it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, and then that one spun off ideas for people to do, and that's what caused the producers to do the producers of Paranormal Activity to do those.
Hmm.
And they did a similar aspect of it where only this one was using like webcams and home security cameras.
Right.
So yeah, that was pretty cool and interesting stuff too. But and then that kind of just I'm not sure if they're even doing that
here.
style of genre anymore.
Tom, that's this guy.
It comes and goes. I know they're making another Paranormal Activity movie.
That's this guy.
You can't be exposed to bright light.
You know, he said you can't get wet or eat after midnight either. So
Yeah, you
No.
can't get that. Yeah, that would be Gizmo, the
from
Mugwai.
the reference movie.
Yeah, Paranormal Activity. The budget on that was $15,000,
Wow.
and you know how
That's
much
it.
it made? It made almost 200 million.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
horror movies are super cheap to make, and they just make a lot of money. A lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, some of them need to get new
If
ideas.
you have the right mindset to write the scripts and set everything up.
Hmm.
So yeah, the found footage stuff that was. I heard of another one that they're actually trying to market, which was a found footage one, and I can't remember what that one was. And it's just recent too, but I can't remember.
Yeah, nothing's
I
coming to
don't know.
mind.
I seen it on YouTube or something. So I just so I'm not certain. I'm not exactly certain
Well, now
what
with the
it is.
pandemic, there's a lot of Zoom movies that filmmakers are doing. You know, they're doing.
Quibi's, yeah, Quibi's and Zoom and
Yeah, yeah,
TikTok.
yeah.
Using Zoom to make a movie.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep. Some of them are pretty good.
yeah, they're using Zoom. They're using Quibi. They're using TikTok. I've noticed that TikTok now. TikTok when it first came out was like this little. Here's a here's a spit that, little like 2 3 seconds or 5 seconds or 10 seconds or whatever, and now you can watch like almost 30 minutes worth of
Shit,
video
we
that people put on
Yeah, I've got three daughters that use TikTok, so I know it all too well.
there.
All too
I don't
well.
know what a TikTok is, except that it's a sound that a clock makes. You know, maybe I'm just too old.
Yeah, you're not hip. You're not hip, Joe.
No, those kids use it, and I don't give a shit.
Doesn't Joe have a new phone? He can use TikTok.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know. He's got a brand new. He's got a new smarter than him
I
phone.
don't go anywhere.
So
You know, Weed Maps doesn't work here either, so so it's the only app I'd want on my phone that But you know, with our demented mind,
now Tom's talking old school. Vine.
with our demented minds, we should be able to make a quick, easy movie. The way we used to put up
Yeah.
the Halloween haunted houses back in the day. We used to
Yeah,
sit
we were actually in our neighborhood over
on
where we
top of
lived. We were kind of
the house
famous.
as a child.
Oh yeah.
We put together haunted houses and we got to the point where I mean it'd be like 4 months before Halloween. People would remember us and see us like in Woodman's or somewhere out shopping and be like, "Hey, you gonna do a haunted house this year?"
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
One
we
day,
did. I did some haunted houses with a friend of mine when I was a teenager, and we got in trouble with the police. So we didn't do it much longer.
we only did it. We did it. Here's what our secret was. We didn't set up until the day of Halloween. You know,
Halloween Day, we'd set up.
well, because of sometimes it was a different day because of the way they had the trick or treating, but it was always the day that the kids were trick or treating,
Hmm.
and we took it down that night when it was all over. We'd stay up till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning tearing everything down because we didn't
Okay.
want any of our secrets to get out.
Yeah, we didn't want people
A lot of
knowing how we were
neighborhoods
setting
that would
stuff
be
up.
nosy, and then we'd add to it every year because we'd go to all those Halloween stores, when everything's done, and then they go 75% off. Yeah, but a lot of the stuff we built and made ourselves. We got real creative. Oh my
Now,
god!
there's a guy in California that had a do-it-yourself haunted house in his own house, and he had tracks set up that went all through his house and down to his basement. And you sat in a little cart, a homemade cart, and it would take you through like a dark ride.
Yeah,
Oh wow,
that's cool.
Yeah.
that'd be cool too.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
didn't get,
there's not very many houses in California that have basements, by the way.
but
I can imagine.
we got pretty creative to the point where we had the neighborhood coming up to us months ahead of time asking if we were going to do it again.
Hmm.
You know,
No, you got something to live up to.
oh, we did.
Oh, we did. Unfortunately, now we don't live next to each other, and
We're not in Madison anymore.
yeah, we're in areas to where it's a little more difficult to accomplish. But
So, two grown men making a haunted house for little kids is weird now where you guys live.
Well, no,
no,
just
no,
not enough
it's
kids.
just I live in
Or
Fort, he lives in
No.
Watertown, and it's just never have time for any of it anymore.
and out here where I'm at, where we've actually got a house to actually do it because he lives in an apartment. There's not enough kids to do it for. They don't. I don't even get trick or treaters at Halloween. I think they all
Do
do.
it for the adults. They like Halloween too.
I'd scare half the
Yeah,
adults and
I know.
up in that. They probably end up.
Oh, we had
Most
adult we
this
had
is
adult
the urban
men
community where I live.
crying when they go through our haunted house. By the time they got to the end, we would have adult men crying.
Oh, we had that one woman. Oh my God, mom! The kids started laughing, and mom was freaking out to the point where I think she actually pissed her pants. And that was you, Mark and I that did that. We were just sitting there with. We looked like we were dressed like death with the robes,
Grim
and
Reaper.
we had the sickle, and we were just sitting there kneeling in the yard. And the kids would have to walk up in between us on a path that we made to get to the front door. Well, as the kid came back out, we kind of got up. Mom thought we were fake, and she freaked. I mean, it was funny. I couldn't help but to laugh. Yeah, we had some fun times. My brother Dwayne, made a little girl cry though. He was dressed up with a rubber mask, sitting inside the porch where you had to actually pass the porch to get to the front door to knock for the candy. And they're like grabbing onto this screen door. Ah, he's fake. He's fake. He's not even real. He's fake. And once they step in, my brother moved, but see, he had it so that it looked like there was like uh, hay straw coming out of his sleeves around some gloves, so that it looked like we stuffed somebody sitting there. But Dwayne was actually a big boy, so yeah, they actually thought he was stuffed, and she went running out, screaming, crying. I think she even dropped her candy on
Oh
the way.
man.
It was pretty bad. But we spared no, we had it all black lit. All the lights would be taken out and exchanged for black lights where we could. And we used my brother's house to do this at. It was fun. We used to plan it out a year ahead of time every year. Start
Yeah,
with,
Halloween is my favorite time of the year. That's my favorite holiday.
it got more fun as an adult than it did as a child.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it did. Yeah, I think that's because it's easier for an adult to scare people. And we come up with some really twisted crap to do.
Oh shit! Even it's got so bad that even our kids got demented from it.
Yeah,
That's an awfully scary haunted house.
my daughter's pretty twisted now.
Yeah, they got to the point where they didn't want to go trick or treating with their friends anymore. They wanted to help out in creating a haunted house. So we kind of converted them young.
Your Halloween was canceled last year.
That's weird.
Why was it canceled last year?
Yeah, why was it canceled last year? I can understand why it might be canceled this year. I get that,
Yeah.
which is unfortunate for kids. So
Anyway. Oh, blizzard. The snow.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I think we did get bad snow that year.
Yeah, I know some cities have canceled their trick or treat, but like Milwaukee, I think is having theirs. I know Kenosha's having theirs.
Madison's probably having theirs.
Yeah.
Well, there's a way you can do it safely with this stupid virus. You just got to be smart about it.
Hmm.
Most
And
kids
unfortunately, a lot of people aren't
anyways
smart
when they
about it.
go out trick or treating. They've got those. Remember those old plastic masks that you used to have to wear with a rubber band behind your head? You know, when you were a little kid. You know,
Yeah, I wish I would have hold on to those because they're worth some money now.
Yeah.
yeah, but a lot of things from when we were kids was worth a lot of money.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I mean, I wish I would have kept most of the Hot Wheels I had when I was a kid. Holy cow!
Three
Or
more
some of the
days till Halloween.
comic books I had growing up.
Silver Shamrock.
It's an underrated horror film.
Yeah, well, it's still one that I still say to this day should have been a standalone film.
Should have been.
Later, Sean.
No.
Yeah,
It,
that one. What
it
the
came
hell
up
does that one have anything to do with Michael Myers?
Well, it doesn't. By the time they made part three, and Ron knows this, they wanted to do anthologies. They wanted to get away from the Michael Myers story. Every Halloween was going to be a different story.
Yeah, but it really wasn't. I mean,
They just didn't
Halloween one
advertise
and
it
two,
like that.
Halloween one and two were about Michael Myers and then his sister, and then
Yeah,
all of a
but
sudden,
his story was done after part two. His story was done.
well, obviously it wasn't.
No, well, it wasn't because producers said, "Hey, we can make some money.
yeah,
Let's
start
bring him
making
back."
more money. Let's bring him
Yeah,
back.
well, I think sometimes they take those sequels way too far.
Yeah,
You know, I mean, after so many of like Friday the 13th, you can only take so many of them. And
and
then,
then you start throwing Jason and Freddy at each other and
and then
see
so
what
many
comes of it.
Nightmare on Elm Streets and so many Leprechaun movies and so many Hellraiser movies. You know, they should have stopped after a certain number. You know,
Pretty much.
Money talks.
Yeah,
I, but
yeah.
still,
Well, as long as they're making money on them, they're gonna
they
make them.
keep doing it.
That's the
Yeah,
whole
Yeah.
thing.
and that's why they've gotten lazy. I think because they're not forced to come up with some
They're not forced to come up with original content.
right.
Everything's a repeat or a rehash or a, hey, let's take a chunk from this movie and this movie and this movie and just mash it all together and throw it in the blender, pour it out, and see what it
Some
comes out to be.
some some remakes have been pretty good, and others
Hmm.
just failed
Yeah.
miserably. And
Yeah,
and sometimes it's just because they casted it wrong, you know.
pretty much. Yeah.
And sometimes it was just the person that was behind it just decided to destroy the storyline from the
What? What are you talking about, Ron? I'd never seen Michael in there. Ron said that Michael was in part three if you paid attention.
No, he wasn't.
I never seen him in there.
Then explain that, Ron. Please, please explain that one. You know, I was watching those. I was watching those horror films when I was a kid. You know, I mean, I'll never forget the day my dad said, "Oh, let's go to Camp Crystal Lake," and it's like, "Okay, I packed the van, let's go." And he's like, "No, I just wanted to see how far you'd go," and it's like, "Fuck you." You know, and that was after watching the original one when it first came to like cable TV or regular TV or whatever it was back then.
Okay. He says when Tom Atkins is in the bar, he's watching TV, and the commercial for part one is on it.
Oh, okay.
All right.
He's right. There's like a commercial for the yeah. He's
Okay.
right.
No, that's fine. I just don't
I
remember
forgot
seeing
about
that
that.
part. So
I watched that movie enough.
It's a good movie.
It is a good
there
movie.
are a
I
lot of them that are underrated.
it was not accepted when it came out, but it's got its cult following.
True, but again, like Joe and I said, that one should have been a standalone movie. Period.
Right. Like he said, it was they were trying to make difference. I get where they were
Yeah,
trying.
I get it. It's just
That would have been cool though if they would have pulled that off. A different Halloween,
a
different
different
Halloween,
movie for each
each Halloween.
part. Yeah.
That would have been kind of cool.
Yeah, it would have been, but it bombed at the box office, and
And
obviously they went
I
back
think a
to
lot of it was
Season
because
of
it
the
didn't have,
box office.
they marketed it funny too. Like everybody that saw it was expecting to see Michael Myers,
yeah,
and you know they got a completely different story. So people had the wrong expectations going into it.
Yeah, you got to market the movie properly.
Yeah.
true.
Because that's why they got all those interviews and all that crap before the movie comes out.
Hmm.
So
Yes, Twisted Dreams is full of original content.
That's pretty interesting. I'm gonna have to check your Twisted
now, how many of those
Dreams thing
people,
out.
the movie makers that you have submit their content to, how many of them are local, like from Wisconsin?
Maybe a fourth, a quarter of them.
Really?
Yeah.
And the rest are from
Yeah,
everywhere.
we've got
Just it's
Australia.
nationwide,
Yeah, it's worldwide.
worldwide.
Yeah,
Then okay.
China, Japan, everywhere.
Wow.
Now China is or the Asian countries. They actually make some pretty decent horror flicks.
Hmm. Yep.
Well, some of those Asian countries,
The Ring is one of them that originated in one of the Asian countries.
Yep. That was Korean.
That and what's the other one I'm thinking of? It's similar to The Ring, only it's
The Grudge.
there.
Yep. That's
Thank you.
another
Yes,
Korean.
The Grudge. That one was also they're pretty decent. They really are
well,
for
when
content.
I was a kid, those one of those Asian countries dominated TV because you had Godzilla, you had that turtle,
Godzilla. Um, you had
King Kong
King
series.
Kong. You had King Ghidorah. You had Raiden. You had
That's it,
Mothra.
Mothra, all
The
that stuff.
turtle one was Gamera.
Yeah,
Actually, the turtle one was let's see, Gamera was Vietnamese movies. Godzilla was Japanese.
I don't know.
I think that's how that kind of works out.
We only had 3 channels to watch, so
Huh, Ju-on, The Ring, Ju-on.
Ju-on was The Grudge.
Oh, is it? I
Yep.
thought that was The Ring.
Was The Grudge.
The Grudge. Okay. Yeah, that was an interesting one, man. That was kind of messed up.
so you got a whole night with Wisconsin films. Is that
Yep.
correct?
Yep.
Oh, that'll be cool. And now this year it's all online, but most of the time, if I get this correctly, most of the time you try to do this in an actual theater.
Yeah, we're at the Times Cinema in Milwaukee. We love Gamera was Japanese. I thought Gamera was Japanese. They're all Japanese, aren't they?
No, come on.
Might be,
There's one of them that I know was supposed to that wasn't Japanese. It was
and I think all
Korean or
time
Vietnamese.
too at one time.
He
Even
was just owned by a different company other than Godzilla.
Huh. I'll have to look that up and check it out more.
I just
Because
remember
I always thought it was. I always thought there was one that was a different uh, country, but yeah, maybe wrong.
Maybe there was in California.
I don't know.
Wisconsin, we got what we got. You got, hell, when there was no cable, we only had three channels. How many did you have? Actually, we had four if you count PBS.
I had about six, and when I put my antenna up, I was able to get about 12.
See, there you go.
The host is Korean. That's a newer one though, Ron,
A
isn't it?
host?
Well, there's also an American version called The Host, which is actually aliens taking over a woman's body,
Mhm.
and aliens actually taking over bodies in the you know sense of them uh, being like a parasite.
Yeah, The Host was actually a really good movie. The one that Ron's talking about.
Yeah,
It was
I haven't
Bong
seen it.
Joon Ho.
I don't get to
That
watch
was
those kind of movies anymore.
I'd love to watch those kind of movies. I'd love to watch the Japanese and the Korean and stuff like that because I know they make some really good movies. But the problem I have is reading the movie instead of watching it.
the subtitles.
Yeah, because if you don't know the language that's being spoken, you can't understand it
Hmm.
properly without reading it, and then you're
Yeah,
busy reading it and you're not catching what's on screen. That's the only big problem I got with it.
yeah. It's an acquired thing to read subtitles. It's not an easy thing to do.
No,
I don't like to
no,
read.
because you're in the middle
Yeah,
of reading it, and then something happens on
yeah,
screen, and you totally miss that.
yep.
Yeah, I can't do that. I can't do that either.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I think The Thing was a pretty good
Well,
one too.
Hmm.
so,
There's a lot of them that Hollywood right now is looking to remake too. One in particular that I actually like the original, which is Dune. And yesterday I was flipping through YouTube and came across the trailer for Dune, the remake of Dune, the 2020 version.
Hmm.
It looks like they're sticking with the characterizations from the original and going more in depth with the book or
see,
the books.
Yeah, to be honest, I hated Dune, and I don't think I'm gonna like the remake either. So I
Oh
just
no,
didn't
that
get it. I didn't
yeah,
get the
a
the
lot of
appeal.
people don't. A lot of people don't, but so
but
there are movies that people
well, there's
do
another one.
get and they like, and
I,
Hmm. Oh yeah,
then there are movies that you're hyped to see, and then you're like, that's it.
well, I like the one they were talking about last night. They said something about there's going to be a new Candyman movie, possibly, right?
hmm,
Now, see, the only way that's going to be good, in my opinion, is if they bring Tony Todd back as Candyman.
yeah. We, he's in it, but we don't know what he's gonna be. We don't know if he's Candyman. We don't know who he's gonna play.
Interesting.
I mean, he was good in a lot of other roles, but I mean, playing Candyman, he did a great job. You
Yeah,
I was hooked into those movies.
no pun intended.
Right.
Candyman used the big hook.
Right.
Yes, I know what he used. Now, Joe was telling me that Farewell to the Flesh was number three. I thought I thought it was Candyman, then Candyman Farewell to the Flesh.
I don't remember the sequels.
See, you'll have to look it up, Mark.
I'll have to look it up.
Have her do your research for you. She likes to do that stuff.
She's in bed.
Oh.
She went through a lot to the last
Anyway,
couple of days.
you got a site you want them to promote? What's the site that they can find the Twisted Dreams Film Festival at?
You can check us out on Facebook or twistedDreamsFF.com.
Okay.
You'll find it. You'll find us.
Right. Or just look you up on your name's pretty easy to remember. Just look you
Yep.
up on Facebook.
Yep.
And
You can do that too.
everything there. Because yeah, we got to call this soon. I've got another prior engagement. I'm going to try the Thunderdome thing, see how it
Yeah.
works.
Farewell to
See,
the
look.
Flesh was part 2.
Yeah,
See?
farewell to the
See?
Flesh was part 2. Thank you,
And
Ron.
you were telling me it was part
All
3.
right, then what was 3? Ron,
That
what
would
was
Day
is
of the
that what
Dead.
Day of the Dead? Is that what 3 was? All right, so you're right. Excuse me. They've only been they've only been showing the first one on TV lately.
So
I can only
anyway,
watch it when she's not here or sleeping. So I've got all kinds of good movies like that. She won't let me watch them.
all right. So again, look you up on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can look me up on Facebook, Christopher Kai House.
Yep.
Okay.
Milwaukee Twisted Dreams Film Festival or twisteddreamsff.com. Or just Google us.
Yeah.
We're on Google.
Twisted Dreams Festival, and it'll bring it up.
Film Festival. Yes. Out of Milwaukee.
Out of Milwaukee.
Yeah. You don't want to get another one.
No.
No, that
The one
Twisted
out of
Dreams
Milwaukee.
Film Festival,
Wisconsin.
Milwaukee,
It's all about
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Yeah. But it's a big festival because I've heard about it long before this.
Oh, really?
I mean, I've listened to Tom talk about it enough on his shows. And,
Well, I pay him well.
yeah, I'm sure you do.
Yeah, sure. Okay, no.
I
So
heard he works for peanuts. So, all right, till next time. Just for your information, our guests that we would have next week got scheduled from Wednesday to Friday for a scheduling conflict, and that was Allison Jorlin.
Allison Jorlin.
Right, Allison Jorlin.
Awesome lady.
She had a scheduling conflict because of her brother didn't notify her right away, so she didn't know about it right away. So she's going to be on Friday instead of Wednesday next week. So you can see all
Tell her I said hello.
on
Oh, definitely.
sameproductions.com. You can see us. What the new Candyman? Hold on. Pulled from
Pulled from
October.
October and
I thought that was gonna
indefinitely
happen,
delayed until 2021.
Well, that's understandable with the way things are.
Yep.
So until next time, stay safe.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thanks for